So 2024 has been a little bit tipsy for the wine and spirits industry. It's been navigating high inflation, changes in consumer preferences, and climate. An influx of droughts, fires, and other natural disasters have impacted wineries across the world. And that's where companies like GRM and its warehouses come into play to handle logistics of wine and storage in safe and efficient facilities. Joining us now for more, Avner Schneur, CEO of GRM Information Management. Tough year for a lot of people, particularly if you were in the wine business. You had a lot of things to grapple with. There were roaring fires in different parts of the country and the broader globe. What were the biggest challenges, and is the worst kind of over for your clients?
Well, we are storing primarily for restaurant collectors, retailers. So this is after they bought. So we will see the bad wave in a year from now, because everything that we store, maybe a wine that is already 10, 15, 20, 30 years from this perspective. But we continue to see actually incoming wine. And the only difference I would say that we see recently in the last few years is we can see more coming on the West Coast, although the vast majority of our inventory is really a French wine. Probably about 85% is still French wine, and 5% Italian, and the rest is U.S., very little from other regions. So we are in a different stage, sort of, to speak from an impact perspective.
It's a really fascinating business, Avner, because you hold licenses to transport wines over state lines as well. I don't think I knew that you needed a license to transport wines over state lines. But you've been in the storage business long before it came fashionable, if you like. Tell us about your large protective storage facility in Jersey. Are you going to be putting Geneva out of business anytime soon?
Yes, so we have a cellar, we call it a cellar. It's really a huge protected warehouse. If you drive by, it's right outside the Holland Tunnel. You will never know what's there. It's elevated. It is totally flood-proof, temperature, humidity control. And the reason for that is because we store very, very expensive wines. Somebody to store wine with us, usually the wine has to be at least $500 a bottle minimum, and it goes from there to tens of thousands and more. And we are full service, basically provider. So you bring the wine to us, we register it, we log everything. You log into the web and you can see everything that you have. You can understand, what's called window of drinking, when can you drink, etc. And then if you need a bottle of wine at 7 p.m. in Manhattan, rest assured we're going to be there. And yes, it's highly regulated. So you actually cannot transfer from Jersey to New York unless you have a license.
Are you seeing a change in the types of wines that people are looking to store with you? Or is there a change in what is coming in and out of vogue?
Well, I think we see a trend that the American wine is growing, but growing a little, not growing dramatically. There are a lot of boutique vineyards that are in the West Coast that we can see more and more inventory coming from there. But the vast majority, the most expensive wine is still French. I mean, you're talking on wines that are, in tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands. One of our customers, was involved in an auction of what's called DRC, Romaine Conti, and that went for $500,000 in 2018. So these are very expensive wines, and that's why they store it in the cellar. Yes. You don't want to fool around with that. This is too expensive to put at home, in a private cabinet or something like that. But we do see, back to your question, we do see an increase, small, coming from the West Coast, but the vast majority for collectors, future buyers, and high-end restaurant is still French.
Avner, can I only say I hope to be a client sometime? I would love to be a client of Avner Schneur of GRM Information Management, because if you're a client and you need stuff stored in Jersey in that warehouse, then you have a lot of dough, or at least a lot of nice wine. Thanks to Avner.